Why doesn't anyone in the Star Wars universe leave the galaxy? What if I told you the Star Wars galaxy is basically a prison? Think about it. This is a universe with faster than light travel, ships that can cross entire star systems in hours, civilizations that have existed for tens of thousands of years. And yet, no one leaves. Not the Republic, not the Empire, not even the most powerful Force users. In a galaxy with hundreds of billions of stars, the idea of just flying to another one should be obvious. So why hasn't anyone done it? Well, a few actually have. And every single time it breaks the rules of how Star Wars is supposed to work. What's up everyone? Today we're diving into one of the strangest questions in all of Star Wars. Why does an entire civilization, this advanced, remain trapped inside a single galaxy? Because that's what it looks like. A civilization that can build Death Stars, terraform planets, and manipulate the Force itself can't leave its own cosmic neighborhood. And the deeper you look, the weirder it gets. Let's start with something most people underestimate. Just how big the Star Wars galaxy actually is. We're talking about an estimated 400 billion stars, millions of inhabited worlds, entire regions like the Outer Rim that are so remote, even the Empire struggled to control them. And here's the crazy part. Even after thousands of years of hyperspace travel, there are still areas that haven't been fully mapped. Let that sink in. This isn't just a big galaxy, it's practically infinite from a civilization's perspective. Now imagine trying to leave it. The nearest galaxies are millions of light years away. Even with hyperdrive, this isn't a quick trip. We're not talking hours. We're not talking days. We're talking journeys that could take decades, maybe even centuries. And that's assuming you could even survive the trip, because this is where things get worse. At the heart of Star Wars travel is hyperspace. It's what makes everything possible, but it also comes with a massive hidden weakness. Hyperspace isn't just go fast and hope for the best. It requires navigation. Precise navigation. Ships rely on nav computers that calculate routes using gravitational fields, stars, planets, and other massive objects. These are called gravitational shadows. They act like signposts in hyperspace. Inside the galaxy, there are billions of them, which is why someone like Han Solo could pull off something like the Kessel Run. He knew how to navigate between those reference points. But the moment you reach the edge of the galaxy, those reference points disappear. No stars. No planets, no gravitational markers, just empty void. And without those markers, hyperspace turns into a death trap. One wrong calculation, and you either crash into something at light speed, or you drift endlessly into nothing, never to be seen again. There are no second chances out there, no rescue missions, nothing. And that's not even the worst part, because surrounding much of the galaxy is something even more dangerous. The galactic barrier, a chaotic region filled with radiation storms, dense gas clouds, and gravitational anomalies. Even if you could navigate perfectly, you'd still have to survive that. So it's not just hard to leave the galaxy, it's borderline impossible, which makes what we're about to talk about even more insane, because a few actually made it out. Let's start with what seems like the most logical example, Grand Admiral Thrawn. In the Ahsoka series, Thrawn ends up in another galaxy called Purrgil. But here's the key detail that changes everything. He didn't plan the journey. He didn't initiate it. He didn't even control it. The entire event was triggered by Ezra Bridger. At the end of Star Wars Rebels, Ezra uses the Force to call a massive group of purrgil. These creatures surround Thrawn's Star Destroyer, lock onto it, and jump into hyperspace, dragging the entire ship with them. Thrawn wasn't leading the expedition. He was taken along for the ride, which already tells you something important. Even one of the most strategic minds in the galaxy couldn't engineer a way out. He had to rely on something completely outside the system. Now, in the Ahsoka series, we learn that returning from that distant galaxy is possible, but only under very specific conditions. This is where the Night Sisters come in. The Night Sisters are an ancient order of Force-wielding witches from the planet Dathomir. Unlike the Jedi or the Sith, their connection to the Force is rooted in dark, mystical rituals and a form of magic often referred to as magic. In Ahsoka, their knowledge and power play a crucial role in enabling intergalactic travel. Combined with an enormous hyperdrive system, their abilities make it possible to bridge the gap between galaxies. But again, this isn't something ordinary civilizations can replicate. It requires rare knowledge, unique Force traditions and very specific circumstances, which means, even here, leaving the galaxy isn't really a solved problem. It's an exception. Now let's move to something even stranger. Zeb Orrelios. In Star Wars Rebels, Zeb and the Lasat people attempt to find their lost homeworld, Lyra Sand. But Lyra Sand isn't just far away. It's hidden beyond a collapsed star cluster, a region so unstable, so filled with gravitational chaos and radiation that normal ships simply cannot pass through it. The Empire knows about this region, and that's exactly why they never found Lyra Sand, because it's unreachable. Unless you have something more than technology. Zeb uses an ancient Lasat weapon, his bow rifle. But it's not just a weapon, it's a spiritual tool. Combined with an ancient prophecy and his connection to the Force, Zeb is able to navigate through the anomaly, not by calculating it, not by mapping it, but by feeling it. The path opens not through logic, but through belief. And that's what makes this journey so important. It can't be replicated. You can't program it. You can't reverse engineer it. It only works under very specific, almost mystical conditions. Which means, again, it's not a real solution to leaving the galaxy. And then there's the one that breaks everything, the purrgil. These massive, whale-like creatures might be the most underrated beings in all of Star Wars, because they can do something no civilization has ever mastered. They can travel through hyperspace, naturally. No ships, no nav computers, no calculations. They just know where to go. And more importantly, they don't just travel within the galaxy, they travel between galaxies. At the end of Star Wars Rebels, Ezra Bridger uses the Force to call a pod of purrgil. They wrap themselves around Thrawn's Star Destroyer and jump straight out of the galaxy into the unknown. And here's the wild part. They bypass every limitation we talked about. No need for gravitational markers. No need for navigation systems. No need to worry about the galactic barrier. They just move. Instinctively, effortlessly. Which raises a huge question. If the purrgil can do this, why hasn't anyone used them before? The answer is almost ironic. For most of galactic history, purrgil were seen as pests. They interfered with hyperspace routes. They caused accidents. People avoided them. No one studied them. No one tried to understand them, until Ezra did. And by the time anyone realized what they were capable of, it was already too late. So when you step back and look at everything, the answer becomes clear. No one leaves the Star Wars galaxy, because everything about their technology is designed to function inside it. Hyperspace needs reference points, navigation needs structure, civilization depends on stability, and the moment you try to leave, all of that disappears. The system breaks, the rules stop working, and the only ones who make it out, they don't follow the rules at all. They either rely on ancient Force traditions, unrepeatable technology, or creatures that operate on instincts no one fully understands. Which leads to a final thought. Maybe the Star Wars galaxy isn't just hard to leave. Maybe it was never meant to be left in the first place. And the few who manage to escape, they're not explorers. They're exceptions.